talk about something completely different now. Now, I don't know if you know this, but on Monday, Scotland became the first country in the world to introduce a legal requirement for the provision of period products free of charge to those who need them. The Period Products Free Provision Scotland Act 2021 also makes it a legal requirement for local authorities and educational settings to employ a period dignity officer. Now, the controversy really starts when in the Tay region, Dundee residents, or Tay, yes, region, Dundee resident Jason Grant, who is a man, was appointed to that role. Joining me now is Susan Smith. She's co-director for Women Scotland, a group of Scottish women looking to strengthen women's rights. Good evening to you.
Hello.
Hello. So good evening. Lovely to see you. I think the idea behind this is a great one. The fact is, provision of period products, I think it's really important. And obviously it's absolutely essential that women have access to this. And I know many women didn't have this. But I'm not sure why you need a period dignity officer.
No, I'm not sure either. It seems to be a little bit creating a job. I mean, all that women really need to know is that there are places they can go to get these products and where those places are. And maybe it would have made more sense just to, I don't know, have them in some shops or pharmacies or in schools and just more centrally. This seems to be an exercise in job creation, which is kind of ironic because the idea is that there's poverty and to be honest, there's issues around about whether you talk about period poverty or whether it's just poverty, and this sort of job creation that seems to be going along with it, so somebody's making money out of period poverty.
Yeah, I just think the sadness about this is it's detracted from the original message, and the fact is that many women can't afford period products. It's important for girls in schools as well. And this, don't you think, just sort of takes all of that away because now it's met with ridicule?
Yes, and obviously this appointment, this is the first appointment to this role of period dignity officer, which is a bizarre sounding title anyway. And when you look at the job description, it seems to be that there was supposed to be an educational element in there and raising awareness and engagement. And so with that in mind, you would expect that they would go out and recruit somebody who perhaps had a background in healthcare or in education, campaigning, training development. And instead, they have gone out and found somebody who seems to have a background in sales, which is interesting because I'm not sure he's supposed to be selling something, but also with no background in having a period because obviously Jason is a man.
I mean, it seems absolutely ludicrous to me. I mean, in fact, Martina Navratilova actually went on social media and sort of said this is absolutely ridiculous. She used rather stronger words than that. And she said, have we ever as women tried to explain to men how to shave or how to take care of their prostate?
Well, indeed. And, you know, in medicine, there's a long history of medical misogyny and women's health not being taken seriously. And things like endometriosis and menopause have been really overlooked. And what we know is that women tend to have better outcomes if they go and see female practitioners and all these things. This isn't to say men shouldn't get up to speed. Of course they should. But in the environment that we're in, where this is still an issue, it seems really retrograde step to get a chap in to lead. I think the phrase was he was going to lead it. And he was also, in his press release, he also said he was buzzing about explaining the menopause. Well, knowing what it is like to go through menopause and knowing other women who've been through it, I think that a man turning up to try and explain what it buzzing to tell me about what I might experience, he'd probably get pretty short shift from that.
Well, I mean, it's extraordinary. This role apparently is paid between £33,000 and £36,000 a year. This contract lasts for a couple of years. And he goes on to justify this, and he says, although affecting women directly, periods are an issue for everyone. What? We'll also raise awareness of the menopause, which, although a natural process for women, has wider repercussions in the world of work and family. What is he on?
I mean, a couple of women picked up on that and said it sounds as though he's saying, women go through this and they just deal with it, but we know it's hard for all you other people who have to deal with the crazy ladies at work. And there does seem to be an element of that. There's certainly an element of mansplaining. It would be important to get this message, potentially. That isn't what he's supposed to be doing. That's not his job. His job was not supposed to be to go and educate men and boys. And I think if you're wanting to do that, you should package it into other schemes that are to do with educating boys. There's a fabulous man, Michael Conroy, who runs Men at Work, who goes into schools and he talks to young boys about all sorts of issues and all sorts of ways in which, the sexes are still unequal and the things they can do to talk, how girls suffer under different structural issues to those that boys face and how they need to call out sexism and all this sort of thing. So somebody like that would be ideally placed to deliver a message to men and boys.
Yeah.
A period dignity officer is not the person who's supposed to be doing that. And what's troubling with some of the language that is being used around this idea that periods are not just for females and that all genders need to know about this is yet again an attempt to divorce something which is inherently linked to biology from biology and making it an issue for everybody. But the thing is, there are many issues that are not for everybody. There are issues like prostate cancer, which are for men, and there are issues like pregnancy and menopause, which are women's issues. And we have to be able to get back to talking about this using clear language. Otherwise, if we say these are for everybody, well, yes, of course we're then saying a room full of men.
Susan, you're talking a lot of sense. I think you should be in charge. Thank you very much indeed. After the break, I'm talking to Ricky Wilson, Kaiser Chiefs lead singer and homelessness campaigner.